Hello guys, in this video I will show you how to make butter chicken. Making butter chicken isn't that difficult, but you do need a lot of spices. For your convenience, I have split up this video in 4 parts. I will start off by marinating the chicken, then I will make a start with the sauce. I will cook the chicken and then I will finish the sauce. Part 1. Marinating the chicken. Get a bowl and put the following spices in it. Half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of kasuri methi, also known as fenugreek, 1 teaspoon of kashmiri laal mirch, also known as kashmiri chili powder, 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste, 2 tablespoons of yogurt, 3 teaspoons of lemon juice, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Mix all the spices with the yogurt. Make sure that no spices are left on the edges. Put your chicken in this marinade. I'm using chicken breast. Make sure your chicken is fully coated. Cover the chicken and put it in the fridge for at least 20 minutes. While the chicken is marinating, I'm proceeding to the next step. Part 2. Starting with the sauce. Before we start with the sauce, it's useful to prepare and cut all of the ingredients, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll start off with slicing 1 large onion into half moons. If you have smaller onions, use 2. Set aside the onions and start cutting the tomatoes into large pieces. You can cut them into smaller pieces, but there's no need. I'll put all the spices we need in a bowl so they are ready to go. 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri laal mirch, also known as Kashmiri chili powder. 1 teaspoon of kasuri methi, also known as fenugreek. 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric, 7 cloves of garlic, and around a tablespoon of ginger. I'm also setting aside 15 cashews. Now we can finally start with the sauce. Get a pan and put some oil in it, then add the onions. Cook the onions until they get this light brown color. When the onions are soft, I'm going to add all the spices. It's very important to keep mixing at this stage because otherwise your spices might burn and you don't want that to happen. So keep mixing for around 2 or 3 minutes. Now I will add the tomatoes. I'm going to cook them on a high heat for around 5 to 7 minutes. Keep mixing here because the tomatoes need to lose the water, and after 5 minutes or so, add the cashews and a tablespoon of butter. This onion and tomato mixture has to cook on a medium flame for around 25 minutes with a lid on the pan. Don't walk away though, because you need to keep mixing every 2 or 3 minutes so your mixture doesn't burn. If you don't cook the tomatoes long enough, your butter chicken will taste very tomatoey, and that's not what you want. There is no need to put extra water in this because the tomatoes will release enough water, but if you think that your mixture is gonna burn, then add some water. After your mixture has cooked long enough, set it aside, let it cool down while I move to the next step. Part 3. Cooking the chicken. Put your chicken in a hot pan and let it cook until it gets those black charred pieces. Don't overcrowd your pan. Traditionally, the chicken is made in a tandoor. A tandoor is a clay oven. It is very difficult to reproduce that typical tandoori taste at home. So that's why I got some charcoal over here. I will use this to smoke the chicken. As you can see, the chicken is ready and it's looking very beautiful. Now I will get some aluminum foil and make a little bowl out of it. Place it in the pan and put that piece of charcoal in the bowl. Drop some oil on it and immediately put a lid on the pan. The chicken will get a beautiful smoky flavor because of this. Keep the lid on the pan while we proceed to the next step. Part 4. Finishing the sauce. Now that our onion and tomato mixture has cooled down, we are going to use a blender to make a puree out of this. Start mixing it, then I will add half a cup or 125 milliliters of water. The puree is way too thick here, so I am adding some more water, around 50 milliliters. You can put this puree through a strainer if you want a smooth and velvety sauce, but if you like the rough texture, you can skip the step. Strain the sauce until you are left with this. These are the seeds and skins of the tomatoes. Put the sauce back into the pan and start reheating it. I'm adding some sugar, cream, and butter. At this point, you can go crazy with these 3 ingredients. Keep adding a little bit until you are satisfied with the taste. If your sauce is too thick, add some water. and also check if there is enough salt. Simmer the sauce for 10 minutes and add the chicken. Simmer for another 2 or 3 minutes, and that's it. Your butter chicken is ready. You can eat this with rice or with naan. I will make a video soon on how to make naan at home. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy your butter chicken.